And there are many behaviors that I saw destroy Venezuela that are destroying the United States today. Venezuela was ideologically and politically divided during the 1997 elections when Hugo Chávez was the presidential candidate. Many adults were too busy and I would say uninterested to get involved politically or even vote, because it doesn't matter. Who cares to go to vote? While Hugo Chávez flashy socialist ideas were blinding the rest. I was a 16-year-old air pistol shooter, too young to vote, and perhaps too young to understand the seriousness of the situation. Thankfully, there was a Cuban friend, shooter, who talked to my teammates and me, a bunch of teenagers, about the dangers of socialism and what would happen if Hugo Chávez took power. He talked about censorship, political prisoners. He talked about not being able to buy whatever you could at the store, even if you had the money. He talked about small business going downhill. He talked about gun control. He talked about oppression. And as a teenager, and I'm thankful he did talk about all those things, because at first I couldn't understand it. I couldn't grasp the information and all that important, valuable information that he was talking about. I couldn't relate to it. But this friend, which I call William, he kept comparing Cuba to Venezuela. And that comparison sounded preposterous. Who could compare Cuba, an island where people were pretty much trapped, to Venezuela, a larger country, rich country? Yes, we had our problems, but we're still a rich country with the largest oil reserve in the world. How could you compare such countries? Venezuelans thought that nothing that happened in Cuba could ever happen in Venezuela. But oh boy, how wrong we were. I felt the effects of socialism immediately, especially in the shooting world. Hugo Chávez, one of the first things he did with his socialist agenda was a war against gun owners. He created a chokehold in the industry. Gun shops started disappearing. Gun ranges started closing. You couldn't buy firearms, ammunition. As an athlete, it was difficult for us to get pellets and 22 caliber ammunition. Simultaneously, crime increased tremendously. The conversation among citizens changed. I remember a police officer talking to me at the range and telling me, you have to fight hard if somebody tries to kidnap you. He told me to never let anybody to take me away from them, because even if that meant that I would die in that moment, that was a better death than if I would go with them, because most likely my death could be worse. That was a conversation. I was still a teenager. To add insult to injury, even before Hugo Chávez got in power, Venezuela had a gun registration policy. Well, guess what? That was the first tool Hugo Chávez used to confiscate firearms, which led to the total ban of firearms by 2012. He got elected in 1998. You see, most people think that this happened right away. No. Socialists, these individuals, they have to go slow. And that's what they do. People get used to it. But guess what? Guess who were the ones who kept the guns? Criminals, right? They kept the guns and they still do, and they are emboldened. Do not believe the liars in America that gun registration will not lead to confiscation. Historically, every country that imposed the registration of firearms ended up taking, or if you can say stealing, the guns from its citizens, like it happened in Canada, Venezuela, Australia, and many other countries. The interesting thing is that crime rate didn't go down. Violent crime still the same. And it won't go down until the government gives the citizen what stole from them. But we know that's not going to happen, because the government knows that a population that is disarmed is a population that can be easily manipulated and controlled.